Hey, Steve Mignani here doing the junkyard crawl. Got my LL Bean boots on. Yep, we're at Winkle Auto Wrecking in Milford, New Hampshire, doing it up. And this caught my eye. It's a 1964 Plymouth Valiant four-door. Usually who cares? But when you see this, that's kind of cool. Now these are small bolt rally wheels. Now these are not something that came along until 1970 on Chrysler vehicles, but somebody along the way added them. They look pretty cool. There's no center caps or trim rings, but they might be the tip of something pretty cool. An iceberg that's pretty cool. And yes, this V8 emblem right here, that tells us this is, well, the first year for the mighty 273 V8, the small block. Now you got to remember that Chevy small block came along in 1955. The Ford 221 small block came out in 1962. And in 1964, for the small Valiants and Plymouth Darts, or Dodge Darts, Chrysler did not have a V8. They had the 318 Poly, very heavy. So they created something called the LA Series small block, which debuted with 273 cubes right here in 1964. It's a great little engine, 180 horsepower, two-barrel carburetor. 1965 would bring us the 235 horsepower, four-barrel 273 Super Commando or Charger 273 as Dodge would call it. But again, a pretty decent little engine, small, and again, similar in size and concept to the Ford 289 or Chevy 283. Similar displacement, 273 cubes. Great little engine. These grew into the 340, the 346 pack, the 360, and even today you can build 408 cubic inch LA-based small blocks off of this basic bone right here. Now it's pretty solid, it doesn't have air conditioning, which is cool, fine with me, manual steering, manual brakes, but what I don't see at the back here is a dipstick for a automatic transmission. Now the torque flight was certainly found in most of these things, but on this one I think we might have something special. And there it is. Yeah, take a peek in here. That is the Hurst shifted 4-speed. That is all stock equipment right there. Now the beauty is that's not some aftermarket installation. That is assembly line. You paid $184 for the A833 4-speed transmission, which was also in its first year for 1964. So whoever ordered this car got two very significant first year items, the 273 V8, the small block, and the A833 4-speed. This four-door is something of a sleeper. This probably surprised a whole lot of Chevy 2 Nova, Corvair, and Studebaker and Rambler owners as it pulled up to the light and laid rubber, banging 4 gears with that cool car. Bench seat, what a sleeper this thing is. And something kind of neat too is the fact that these cars came, this is a V100, but if we look at the VIN, you can tell a V8 powered car by looking at the trim tag, that silver thing right there. At the very top is a V, that little stamped in V right there. When you see that, that means the car was born a V8, like this. Again, first year. If you don't see the V stamped into that, it was either a 170 or a 225 slant 6, which was the majority of these things. Now, this is one of about 44,000 V100 four-door sedans built in 1964. And of those 44,000, I would say maybe 20% were V8 cars, and maybe 5% were 4-speed cars. This is pretty darn rare. And it's kind of cool too that, the profit centers in Plymouth and Dodge were anywhere they found them to make money, the options. Standard on these things was a front armrest. See right there, that was standard stuff. It's okay, cardboard door, but out back, you paid extra for the rear armrests. Something the original buyer of this car didn't do. Check it out, no rear armrest, not a hole, this has not been removed. There's no armrest. That's how nickel and dime things could get with the option sheet. But something I don't see on this thing here is a floor in the back. Look right there, we can see, Fred Flintstone would love this car. There's my boot hanging out right there. And sadly, like so many cars in New England, this thing has been, subjected to a lot of winters and the floors have rotted out. But the good news is you can get reproduction floor pans for these things from Auto Metal Direct and companies like that. Or, you could weld in some flat sheet steel if you want, but it's kind of the shortcut way. I dare say this thing, original paint on this thing even, this is a pretty darn rare car. First year V8, first year 4-speed, it's a four-door, it's a sleeper, it's a cool little car. You gotta keep your eyes open in the junkyard. You never know what you're gonna find. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the Steve Mignani YouTube channel.